All right. Shall we
Nice.
get
All
on
right.
to
Well,
the hot
that's.
topics?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing with us, bud. Yeah. I think we got a special hot topic, Ethan. Let's jump
Yeah,
in.
let's do it. A little special sponsored hot topic here. So we're excited to do a sponsored spotlight for Minttangible. This is a pioneering company transforming the intellectual property landscape in the Web3 space. They recently launched a game-changing blockchain solution for NFT creators and brands designed by experts in IP law, licensing, and blockchain technology. And the solution that they're launching will enable creators to bind IP and royalty rights to NFTs on chain, patent pending solution with all the complexity behind the scenes. So the users don't have to worry about that going on. And the IP rights structures generated intelligently encoded on chain, bound to each NFT. And the NFT collection, each NFT receives public rights registry listing where anyone can look up all things related to the IP terms of the NFTs, verified identity of the licensor, registered works being licensed, and the IP terms that apply. So pretty cool. I mean, and in some sense, anybody could be attaching this information to any NFT, but nobody's really doing it in an organized way that's user friendly. And so this is an exciting step, and it's interesting to see how this project develops. Any thoughts on this, Evan? As someone who's got your own IP going on here, how do you
It's
think
it's
about this stuff?
it's funny because there's so many like they're like, oh, what can I do with the IP? And it's just like you could do anything. And they're like, all right, cool. And then it's like no one does anything. It's like okay,
Yeah.
like it's so much like just all right. Well, what can I do with it though? And so I don't know, but stuff like
Actually,
this is great. Clearly defining what you can do.
yeah, it reminds me, a previous podcast I had was the Run With It podcast. And as the co-host, the thing that we thought was super exciting was we would have these experienced entrepreneurs on the podcast, and they would share a business idea that they don't have time to pursue, but they think is really awesome.
Mm.
But the thing that we thought was really exciting is we offered to the listeners from the very start, send us an email telling us why you should be the one pursuing this idea. We'll connect you with that experienced entrepreneur for like a private mentorship session. Incredible. Nobody took us up on it. Like, it was
Yeah,
not like,
that's a great idea.
I know,
Yeah.
right? But it's true. Like, people want to enjoy IP. Some people want to do things with it, but it is a little bit of a conundrum. I can see what you're saying. They're asking you, well, what should I do?
What
Like,
can I
well,
do? He's like, you can do
that's what
anything. Like,
it's
well, I
up
don't
to
want to
you.
do anything. I was like, okay,
So
well,
yeah, so a little bit more context. Minttangible did come by Outer Edge, and they had a cool booth, and they talked to a lot of creators there, and I actually introduced them to a few creators. And there was this moment, to your point, Ethan, where creators were like, and Evan, what you're saying, like they're like, oh, wow, I haven't even thought about this. And so there
Uh-huh.
was this pretty big educational component to what Minttangible is doing in terms of, they come from an IP background. Emily, one of the founders, she's an IP lawyer by trade, where it's really talking to creators about how they can be more empowered through the digital assets they create. It's a really
mhm.
powerful concept when you think about it that way.
Yeah, I think one of the like missing components though for that infrastructure is like we need some sort of like intermediary, like white label third party or net new solution where they say, hey, have you got a collection or NFT from this collection, this collection, this collection? Okay, cool. We have the infrastructure to instantly deploy a storefront for your goods to da da da. Because I think a lot of people want to apply their NFTs to thing, but it's that like a lot of people haven't done a Shopify store before or just like, launched anything. So it's just sort of like a where do I start? So I think that's going to be something we're probably going to see in the near short term.
Man, that
Right.
sounds like a job for your new laboratory. If
Yeah, Alpha
if
Lab.
if I may say so.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
the other side of it too is there's always like a power law with anything, right? Like, there's the few, you see folks, we had Illa the producer come on and show us how he was doing things with his ape NFT, right? And at Outer Edge. And we had spotty Wi-Fi and things like that. Now, there's those people that are doing it and are excited about it, and they kind of know what to do and they're on the track. And in essence, those people sometimes are wondering why other people aren't using those privileges and rights. So there's probably another world here too I don't even know. And again, this is a place where the law has to be written around this to license out your rights to monetize your NFT to someone else who's just excited about it, right?
I feel like so much of the granular like intricacies of whatever avenue or sub avenue you pick, like so much of it comes all the way back down to like education. Like there's just so much information and misinformation of application of how do I get the token? What can I do with it? How do I put it on a thing? It's just nothing is easy. Like none of this is easy. We're in like hard mode land where it's like funding a wallet with crypto and buying a token. Like that took a lot of work to even just get there and make sure your keys aren't even jeopardized. Like way to go, you. Now it's like, how do we apply that to other things? But I think it's all going to be like a educational thing, I think.
Yeah. So it's Minttangible here, that's kind of, I guess their goal is to have something that's a trusted solution. You've got these NFT lawsuits that are hitting the headlines, IP disputes are out there. And, in essence, I think the crux of what they want to do is protect the IP for the creators, like give them something, and the royalty rights, give them something where, maybe that part of it is a little bit of a headache that's a little bit difficult to consider. I've got to write up a contract or something like that. And it turns into almost like a legal Zoom of sorts, right? And that's my terminology, not necessarily theirs. But in order to put this all together in a quick and easy way,
it definitely gets us closer to the easy button, right? When you think about IP, there's a lot of nuances from music to using the product in a movie to creating a product to doing a collab with the product, right? To taking a derivative of that product and then creating something with it. So I think these are all things that the creators should be able to think about and have an easy button for sort of figuring out what rights they want to give and how they want to give those rights. And
it seems like it'll perpetuate adoption for sure.
Right. Yeah. And the flip side of it too, right? Because owners, collectors, they need to know what their rights are and feel comfortable using, that IP effective, because these folks are not experts in IP, right? They're not IP attorneys. They don't know. People are kind of out there using them kind of willy nilly. So if they know, like, what are we actually allowed to do with this thing? The other cool thing I think they're doing is they're publishing like open source NFT license templates for people to use.
Yeah.
Which again, if we're talking about adoption and easy buttons, kind of the LegalZoom side of it, things like collectibles, commercials, music, other places to support both sides of the equation, the creators that are making the stuff, and then the the owners that are on the other side of it that want to use this stuff, but maybe are even tentative because they are afraid of like stepping on toes or doing something that might be illegal. So that's pretty cool of them as well.
There's nothing potentially illegal to do here. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Yeah, right.
Well, in the meantime, if anyone wants to check out what these guys are doing, we are big fans. They can Minttangible is offering a free certification for your first NFTs, and you can experience that on their platform and maybe streamline some of your IP management, help with trust, transparency, all things that we care about in the Web3 ecosystem. You can just go to MINTangible.io. It's MINTangible.io and follow these guys on Twitter at the same handle. It's MINTangible_IO on Twitter. Check these guys out.
Yeah, I think they also got a recent funding round, right? So they got some capital to go make this thing happen as well. So good on them.
They're ready to build. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, that concludes our hot topic segment.